Hello all, an interesting one to start off with. As you might be able to tell, this isn't the live commentary that I recorded alongside this game. I've taken to recording gameplay even when I'm just testing out decks and just like having a bit of fun playing some games, just in case something interesting happens. And it just so happens that something amusing did happen during this game, so I'm glad I was recording. Hopefully you all find it amusing as well. I'll fast forward through this game now because it doesn't last very long, and I will see you all in the real game momentarily.
I'm a tiger. Grr.
Well, that was a nice little excursion into the realms of the internet, wasn't it? Akiri Line-Slinger versus Darigaaz Reincarnated. I must remember not to prey on people from now on, which means I must remember not to get 2 of my spells countered and my entire hand discarded. Such things are surely going to be frowned upon in modern societies such as this one. I love as well, by the way, the fact that this individual chose the username Kratos, as in the god of war, but point blank refuses to take on any kind of conflict in their video game. That's quite ironic, isn't it? Anyway, what have we got going on here? Okay, definitely getting down the Boros Signet now, I think. We'll go for a plateau before we do. And then, yeah, did we go for Boros Signet or not? We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We can go for... No, I think I want to get down the commander, actually. And we'll just have to hope that our opponent doesn't have any kind of removal for it. Darigaaz Reincarnated is a 7 mana. That is 7, isn't it? Yes. 7 mana Jund commander, a 7/7, flying, trample and haste. If it would die, instead exile it with 3 egg counters on it. Oh, I just F6 there by accident. Let me just make sure that that is removed. We could have got some damage in here. Not to worry. Okay, let me just finish going over the commander in a minute. Yeah, we missed out on some damage there. Yeah, that feels bad. Like I say, we could have gotten damage in there, but not to worry. We'll carry on going over this. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's exiled with an egg counter on it, remove an egg counter from it. And then if it has no egg counters on it, return it to the battlefield. So it comes back after 3 turns. And our opponent used Open Fire, 3 damage to any target. Wow, a 3 mana lightning bolt. Okay, fair enough. We'll get down our commander again. Akiri Line-Slinger is a 0/3 for 2 mana in Boros. It has First Strike and Vigilance and Partner, but we can't use the Partner ability in 1 versus 1. And it gets +1 to its attack for each artifact we control. We control 1, 2, 3, and 4 artifacts. Do we want to get down Gilded Lotus? Can we do? I think Akiri costs 6 now. Well, we've no haste enablers, so I'm just going to get down Akiri again. And we'll see if there's any more removal from our opponent. 4 cards left in our opponent's hand. We have the Trailblazer's Boots out as well. A equipped creature has non-basic land walk, and that equipped cost is 2. Our opponent has got an out and Urborg now, so we can make use of the Trailblazer's Boots. Alright. What is that? Okay, you can pay 2 and sack it to add 4 mana. Our opponent's stuck on green mana currently. Let's get down the Sword of Fire and Ice. Actually, can we do this a little bit better? If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... not really. We'll just go for the Fire and Ice now. We don't need to worry about Trailblazer's Boots just yet because we don't have a blocker in our way. Going to get 7 commander damage off on our opponent, so 2 more hits and they will get commander damage dealt to them. Sword of Fire and Ice draws us a card, which is a land for the turn. We won't equip the Trailblazer's Boots now. I want to hold up Enlightened Shooter. Alright, and our opponent decides to pass straight over. They've only got 1 card left in hand. I don't think they've had the best of luck here. What do we want to grab? Maybe Champion's Helm would be okay. Don't think we have a double strike enabler actually, which might be a good include in the deck. Yeah, let's just go for Champion's Helm. And then we'll get down the Gilded Lotus. Obviously we've drawn into the Champion's Helm at the beginning of our turn. Champion's Helm is +2/+2. And then it's a legendary creature, so it also gets hexproof. The equip cost is only 1. Yeah, so our opponent could still force us to sack here. And they need to draw into something this turn. We can't quite get commander damage off on our opponent there. We'll hold on to... Yeah, we'll hold on to Wear and Tear. Still don't need the Trailblazer's Boots just yet. Yeah, and our opponent didn't draw into anything. But they did the right thing and got to their draw step to see if they would draw into anything, which is something that you often see your opponents not doing. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. That was Akiri Line-Slinger, and I'll see you in the next one. Akiri Line-Slinger versus Rafiq of the Many. Don't see Rafiq around very often. Yeah, very potent commander. Used to be really, really good. I don't know if it still is or not. We will go in for Ancient Den and then Bloodforged Battle Axe. And that's already 2 artifacts in play, which will give Akiri +2/+0. Akiri gets +2/+0 per artifact that we have in play. And I think Akiri is a she. She also gets First Strike and Vigilance. 2 mana for a 0/3, and she has a partner ability as well, but we can't take advantage of that in 1 versus 1, unfortunately. Rafiq of the Many is a 4 mana bank commander, 3/3 with Exalted, and whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until the end of the turn, so you often see this as a Voltron commander, so it's a couple of Voltron commanders pitching it off against each other. We'll get down our commander and see if our opponent has removal for us. The Bloodforged Battle Axe is a card I really like to run. It's 1 to put out, 2 to equip. The equipped creature gets +2 to its power. And whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a token of the Bloodforged Battle Axe. So you can get a lot of copies of this into play. Goes really well with ramp effects. Let's go... Do we want to Mask of Memory? We could play Sigarda's Aid and then equip the Mask of Memory. I think I'd rather get down Bloodforged Battle Axe because it's a buff to the attack. And we'll just throw down the Darigaaz Aid now. If our opponent's got removal, I don't think us having a white mana held up is going to stop them from using it. And then the First Strike and Vigilance is going to come in handy for us. Oh, and also the Bloodforged Battle Axe will come down and trigger with Darigaaz Aid, so actually I'm glad I got down. That's Darigaaz Aid, actually. Didn't think of that. That would go really well with Double Strike. We would hit our opponent, get a Bloodforged Battle Axe, equip the Bloodforged Battle Axe, and hit our opponent again with the extra power. Yeah, that might have to be something that we go after to show all of you on the channel. Our opponent's up to 5 mana and they haven't done anything yet apart from ramp with a 3 visits. And down comes Gilded Lotus, even more mana. They might be holding up counter magic. We'll go Darksteel Citadel. And why don't we Vandal Blast this? Then we'll Mask of Memory. And the Darksteel Citadel is an artifact, by the way, so that gives... yeah, we'll always yield to that. That gives Akiri a buff to her attack. So she's up to 9 now, which will put our opponent on commander damage next turn if they can't do anything. Mask of Memory trigger, and then we get 2 triggers because we were hit, or our opponent was hit with 2 Bloodforged Battle Axes. So each of them trigger because they are exact copies of each other. And the Mask of Memory, by the way, is whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you can draw 2 cards, and if you do discard a card, it's really good card advantage on an equipment. And Akiri here is going to jump up to a 15-3 with First Strike and Vigilance. And then we're going to always yield and say yes to that. We will discard the worst fetch. And we get into a Stoneforge Mystic, which is obviously a tutor for an equipment, so that's really good. But I don't think we're going to need it. If our opponent gets rid of Akiri here, then we might go for Stoneforge Mystic for a Swiftfoot Boots. But nope, our opponent doesn't have anything. We were just too quick there. They were just on the ramp plan, but they didn't ramp quickly enough to get into whatever it was they needed, apparently. Even if they'd gotten down Rafiq, it would have just been a chump blocker because we've got this big First Strike Vigilance creature that's it's just added benefit that your commander only costs 2 to get out, and then cheating effects with things like Darigaaz Aid just makes it even better. So yeah, it's really what we want to do with Akiri Line-Slinger, Voltron Commander, and Rafiq of the Many can consider himself preyed upon. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.